But you carry on. I always cut you off because I'm a jerk.
Listen, we're excited, man. I know
this is the most excited I've been after losing a series in my life.
It is the most exciting offseason since the start of the rebuild, bar none. All right. Sure, maybe first overall pick, right? We were excited about that and
that was a fun
whatnot.
One,
but
now we're starting to win.
This offseason, this is where the fun begins because Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton won't be trading away players. They'll be trading away draft picks and prospects to get players. And that is the fun part. That's the fun part. And they're going to be doing that. So, no, you're excited. There's a big difference here, and I'm excited as well.
Can't you tell, guys? Can't you tell?
So now, from what I just said, I think there's two holes in the forward group, right? Will both of these be filled by trades or free agents? I don't think so. I think one of those holes will be filled internally with a young player. But the big one, the 2C, right? And we're going to be throwing out names all summer long until finally we get an answer, because there will be an answer. I do believe Kent Hughes will address this need. So let's start with free agents, right? And I think that's the only thing we're going to touch on today. We're going to leave the trades for another show. We got to keep the folks coming back in, right?
We do.
Because ultimately, I do think it'll be a trade that brings in that second line center. But it's worth exploring the UFAs that are available on the market. Sam Bennett is the first one we have to talk about, and that's the one that a lot of people are wanting. Realistically, I give that about a 5% chance of happening. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble. This guy's in Florida, right? It's nice. It's nice weather there all year long. They've got a good winning team, right? He's going to stay. Let's be honest now.
He's got to be happy
stay.
there.
He's not going to leave. And if he does, I'm not willing to pay this player $9 million for 8 years, because if he goes on the open market, that's probably what he's going to get, right? That is way too much. And that's my fear with the UFA market, right? Drew, I mean, how many off-season signings do you remember that have panned out really well, right? I can think of Artemi Panarin. They got $10 million and deserves all $10 million. Sergei Bobrovsky got $10 million. Hey, he won them a cup. You know what I mean? That turned out pretty well. All the other big contracts that have been handed out on July 1st usually turn out to be overpayments. Sam Bennett had, I think, 51 points this season. That's the same amount as Juraj Slafkovsky. Are you going to pay him $9 million a year just because he's a physical presence? No. Right? I'd love to have Sam Bennett on my team. Absolutely. Sign me up today, right? But not for $9 million a year. I don't know what his contract's going to look like. I'm just telling you guys, probably not going to happen.
3 or 4? I'm interested. But
yeah, he's going to want long term. If he goes on the open market, he's going to get paid. He wants his money. But ultimately, I think he actually stays in Florida. Other options. There are 2 within the Dallas Stars. Matt Duchene and Mikael Granlund. Let's start with Duchene first. Duchene, for most people who might not know, he came this close to being a Montreal Canadien before signing with the Nashville Predators. He said so himself. He actually came to visit the city. Like, he was this close to signing. He really considered it. So there is a link here. There is a connection.
I didn't think he was that close, but you tell me.
He ultimately chose the Nashville Predators, but I think he still has like a Yuppie plush toy for his son or something. It's serious. Like, he was really close to signing here when the Habs weren't that good, right? So imagine now that they are good, and he's not going to command a long-term contract. I believe he's 34 years old, right? So on the tail end of his career, and he's still a really, really good player. However, similar to Sam Bennett, I don't think he leaves. I think he's happy in Dallas. I think he wants to. I would think he wants to finish his career there. He's had his best seasons in Dallas, and they're a Stanley Cup contender pretty much every year. So, again, the odds of Matt Duchene becoming a Montreal Canadien, would I take him? Absolutely, sign me up. But unlikely. I'd say it's more likely than Bennett, but still fairly unlikely.
I think it's a bit past that time where we could have look to bring him in. I think. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I keep doing
He'd be, if we bring him in, he'd be a stopgap for Michael Hage. And I think that is ultimately the best move for the Habs to make, because I'm a big believer in Michael Hage. Sure, if you can get
Me too.
a younger, long-term, highly talented second line center, do it by all means, right? But I think realistically speaking, it'll most likely be a veteran who can, be that role model. And again, we circle back to Ivan Demidov. He's got to be the main focus here. You have to find a center for him, not just a second line center, a center for Demidov, because he is the most important piece to the Habs becoming contenders ultimately. So Duchene, I think, could be a really good complement to Demidov, but I doubt that he'd want to leave Dallas. So that's my concern with him.
Mm-hmm.
Granlund, I think, is an option, and I really liked him in the Four Nations for Finland. I thought he was excellent. Very underrated player. I don't know that he will be the number one option for the Habs, right, in this scenario, but he is still worth being considered. And again, he's a veteran. He's had some great seasons this year. He's had really good season, actually. Very talented player, but again, I think it'll be a trade scenario for the Habs where they bring in the second line center. And the last name I'll give to you, and we can wrap this one up after that. Let's just have fun, right? Jonathan Toews. Why not?
Oh,
why
what
not?
What about
Jonathan Toews, baby? Listen, this guy's 37. Okay, I don't know how much hockey he has left.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one.
The poor guy was stuck with long-term COVID. Like he almost had to medically retire.
Is that what he had?
Yeah.
COVID?
Yeah. He suffered from long-term COVID. He went to India to get random experimental treatments. Anyways, point is, apparently he is on the verge of a comeback. He would like to come back in the NHL. He would like to play again. And listen, this player, I mean, in his prime, we know what he could do, right? Number one center for a Stanley Cup champion, Chicago Blackhawks. It wouldn't be that expensive, Drew. It wouldn't be that expensive. So just putting it out there, having fun. It's not going to happen. If he plays, he's going to go to Winnipeg because that's where he's from. But just saying.
I think the odds might be better that we get Toews than Crosby.
Oh, stop it with that. Stop it with that. We're not even.
You weren't even going to bring it up, were you?
Drew, we're not even going to do that. Okay, stop.
My buddy wants him so bad.
Of course, it's Sidney Crosby. Who doesn't want him?
Did the Four Nations Bell Center ovation sway him even 0.5%?
0. That man is a Pittsburgh Penguin until he retires. I really, unless Kyle Dubas is I don't know, he is just purely evil. At that point, it's not even being a bad GM; it's just evil, right? Then he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
And people say about Tony was talking about, Mike Sullivan being the coach he was closest with, and that's fair. I believe it. But people are saying, maybe even Jimmy Murphy and some others are saying, well, they don't know what his future is in Pittsburgh and whatnot, because does Sid, would they want to play the next 2 years without a chance to make the playoffs? But Sid was also really mad when Jake Gensel got traded, right?
Yeah.
He's mad now. Doesn't mean he's gonna stop being loyal. So who knows?
Kyle Dubas has brought this team to the dumpster. I think he's done a terrible job in Pittsburgh. Horrible. Okay, I'm not going to mince words here. Sorry, Pens fans, but he's not been good, right? But I don't think that's enough for Sid to say, okay, trade me, right? Because at the end of the day, he's going to be the one deciding whether or not he gets traded. You don't trade Sid. Sid trades himself, okay? So, Habs fans, I'm very sorry to burst your bubble. It's not happening.
That'd be nuts.
It'd be nuts. Not happening.
Crosby and Demidov.
Come on. That's
you can dream, Shayne. We didn't think we were getting Demidov. Of course. We didn't think we were getting Line A. Anyway, I'm just messing with it. I'm having fun.